So for me, sleep paralysis is very much a spiritual type of phenomenon, one where your non-physical body, and when I say spiritual, I'm not talking in the religious sense, I'm talking one where it's about energy, it's about your non-physical body, and your non-physical body being able to enter different dimensions and have different experiences whilst it's in that state. So it's something that I've experienced for many, many years. I've been free from it, or shall I say, I've transitioned through it. Now, for about 2 years, I've not had one of those experiences. And I did have it chronically for the best part of 30 years. As you said, I was having it regularly. You know, the term that I would say at that point was, they're going to get me. They're going to get me. They're going to get me when I'm sleeping. They're waiting for me to sleep, you know.
Yeah.
It was a very kind of difficult time. And you know, it's a difficult thing to go through, especially going through it on your own, because you really don't have any foundation in terms of what it is that's happening and where to go for help, you know.
And lots of people that experience sleep paralysis end up, you know, how you're talking about feeling something on your chest or whatever, they end up seeing entities. There's a, you know, in my case, when I was a child, I got sleep paralysis, and there was it's kind of a terrible thing to say, but what's called as the old hag, a very nasty, old looking, ugly woman that would come around, you know, things like that. And I don't know if that's just our mind because we're in fear, or if those are actual, you know, entities or whatever. What do you think about, or have you even heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard of the old hag, and it has different names in different cultures, because this sleep paralysis it's global, and all kind of countries and cultures give it a different name for that experience, you know.
Right.
But for me, I didn't see the old hag. I saw more like a succubus, a demon type thing, large, fat, round it was, you know, goggling eyes, that kind of thing. That was the entity that would pressure me, put the pressure on my stomach. And I saw the shadows. The shadows were there in the background, that were watching the experience as I was going through it, as I was laying there, you know. And there's a picture that's been painted. Oh gosh, Henry, I've forgotten the guy's name. It was painted in the 1800s. And when I saw that picture, I couldn't believe it, because I said, that's the entity that used to come at night, you know. And it's the fact that it was captured in a picture so clearly, the same thing that I would see at nighttime, you know. And for me, there is also something about, from a spiritual perspective, about us being able to kind of share thoughts and share images. And that's exactly what's going on when we have the sleep paralysis experience. We're kind of all seeing the same thing, which again makes it difficult for me to believe because there are different theories that are going around in terms of sleep paralysis. You know, difficulties with REM sleep, all different things are going around in terms of what's causing sleep paralysis. And for me, the only theory that fits is the one that relates to the non-physical energy and what's going on in different realms, and the fact that these realms are around us all the time, and that things are happening that we can't see with our eyes, but they're still going on in different dimensions all around us. And it's when we sleep that we are able to kind of transcend different dimensions and engage engage non-physically with some of the things that are going on around us, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I myself, I've had an out-of-body experience too. I know that some people get sleep paralysis and never, it feels like that, I don't know, that like they never get away from it. And what do you think is going on there spiritually when people are having constant sleep paralysis? What are they really dealing with?
What I've come to understand and to learn is that it's persons who have a specific spiritual acuity, in the sense that some people, well, we're all psychic to different degrees, but some of us are able to have more heightened experience because of our psychic awareness and abilities.
Okay.
And there are those of us who have a specific acuity in a kind of psychic sense or energetic sense. And it's at that point that you're able to engage with sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis doesn't happen to anyone. You have to be quite unique in an energetic way to experience sleep paralysis, or it may be that you've gone through certain things at a certain point in your life, which has caused you to spike in a particular way, which means that you're able to engage sleep paralysis on that energetic frequency. So it's almost like tuning the old time radios, where you're able to kind of tune into a specific frequency at that point in time, and by tuning into that frequency, you are then able to engage with sleep paralysis. You're able to have an OBE, and project astrally, and you're also able to have very clear lucid dreams as well, once you're able to hit that frequency. So for persons who are experiencing sleep paralysis, I would also say that once you clear away the sleep paralysis, because it is possible to kind of transcend it, you then enter a higher psychic kind of realm, where you're able to do a range of other things, and a range of other abilities can then show themselves within you once you allow it. And I think the key word is once you allow it. The sleep paralysis keeps you trapped because of the fear that you're experiencing. So you're kind of staying at that point, at that frequency where you're constantly fearful of what's going on. But once you can transcend that, you kind of raise yourself higher, psychically, spiritually, energetically, however you want to term it. And that's when you kind of release this box and access a whole plethora of different psychic abilities that you've always had, but they've been there latent. But the fact that you're experiencing sleep paralysis means that you're able to engage with them at a higher frequency.
What were some of the first things that happened? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, I'm hoping that I've kind of explained it in a clear way.